Welcome back to Man Cave United. We have a special episode on today. We are joined by a few good-looking heads on the panel. We've got Robbie from It's a Football Thing. Robbie, how are you, mate?
Good, thanks, boys.
We
Nice
got
to get all the Aussie boys together. So thanks for having me.
Mate, it's a hot topic, so had to get everyone in on this. We got Board Chair from the Football Capital. How are you, Board Chair?
Yeah, not too bad, boys. Not too bad. Thanks for having me on.
Mate, thanks for coming on. And finally, we got Tom from the United Podcast. How are you, brother?
All good, mate. All good. Felt good this morning. Had like a sleep in. Got up at 9 o'clock in the morning. Thought, how good's this? Quickly checked my phone to look for a "Here we go" or something about a confirmation of a sign in, and obviously didn't see that. And I think that's why everyone's here. There's obviously a little bit of interesting news to.
The wording might have changed. It might have just changed to "Here he goes."
Yeah, it's something along those lines. I think
it'll be something like that. And finally, I won't leave him out. We got Adam in the original Man Cave. Adam, how are you, brother?
Yeah, good mate, good mate. Ready for this one. I can't wait. I'm known for a little bit of Ronaldo controversy, so we might as well bring it in the cave and bring all these intelligent heads into one area.
Controversy, I think, is the hot topic here. I don't even know where to start this one, to be honest. I don't even know how to start this one. Obviously, with the breaking news in the last 24 hours, we've seen Twitter go off its head with the news that Ronaldo wants to leave Manchester United. Obviously, and they're always going to report that, due to the club's lack of ambition and lack of movement in the transfer window, he wants out. He wants to go. So where do we start? Who wants to kick this one off? Anyone?
Just pick someone, mate.
I won't kick it off because I think the discussion will go off in 10 different directions, and rightly so, because there are so many sort of ways to dissect it and look at it. There are different issues, but for me, it highlights I've always thought I've been quite patient sort of in regards to watching Man United performances or managerial sort of performances and everything, and everyone sort of overreacting. I said, no, you need to calm down. So I always think I'm quite patient. But this transfer window, I've been quite sort of agitated and think it's not going as well as people think. And a lot of people say, no, you got to be calm. And I sort of think to myself, well, okay, they're probably right. Maybe I'm overreacting a little bit. But I've always had the concerns that this transfer window isn't going the way that it's planned to be. And I think we'll get into the ins and outs of, is Ronaldo right or is he wrong? I think Ronaldo's having the same feelings. And look, does he have a right to sort of want to leave? We'll sort of call other players out for it. Call sort of other players not out for it. Depends which side of the fence you do sit on. But I think Ronaldo's feeling what a lot of fans are feeling. And I want to bring sort of Wayne Rooney up later. This sort of really does echo the same feelings of Wayne Rooney in 2010 when he said he's off to Manchester City because he wasn't happy with the direction the club is going. I don't think Ronaldo is happy with the direction of the way the club is going. No one in here is happy the way the club is going. I think Ronaldo's just has a far bigger platform to air those grievances. And it's also unfortunately playing out. The dirty laundry's out there in the public. So it's an interesting thing.
While I understand how you're going to use that Wayne Rooney comparison, I do think the situations are a little different. But so we'll touch on that.
Well, of course, different scenarios, but yeah.
Yeah. So we'll touch on that a bit later. Robbie, first time on the panel with us, bro. Glad to have you on. How are your feelings about this whole situation?
Yeah, look, mixed emotions for me. I could say the back end of last season, I called for this a few times. I said, if there's no Champions League, I said, I really think that Ronaldo will leave. And at that point, I wouldn't have had an issue with it. From his point of view, he's got very high standards. I think when he came back to us last year, I think he's seen, okay, we came second. The club went out and bought him, Varane, Sancho. This could be like a big push. Obviously, we're Champions League as well. You never happen. He said he wanted to come back, create history, break more records, and try and get the club back to where we should be. After the season we had last year, he could probably put up his hand and say, "I still done my job. I scored 24 goals," but the team and the club hasn't really backed the situation. They've gone, from buying him and going what we thought was 2 steps forward, we've nearly pretty much gone 6 steps back. So you have to understand someone of his caliber. And someone, again, with the Champions League who's been 19 seasons consecutive in the Champions League, this is a big, a big backward step for him. And you have to say, if you have to put, if you're in his situation, do you want to, you're 30, come up to 37, 38, do you want to make your twilight years trying to be in a transition and get the club back to it, or do you want to go and win trophies and break records as he likes to do?
But the question is it about Ronaldo or is it about Manchester United? That's the question.
Well, the answer is to that. It's always about United. People always say that the club
it's
is
not it's not if he's got ambitions to keep winning trophies. So if it's about Manchester United, then you there? Yeah.
But we always
go.
We always knew this. Ronaldo is here to win a Ballon d'Or, whether it's at United or somewhere else. That's he. As much as he loves United, he's always here to get his numbers. He sees what Messi. He's got that extra Ballon d'Or, 2 extra Ballon d'Ors. He's got these Champions League goals and all sorts. He still wants to continue that. He doesn't want to start playing now Europa League. And we knew that once United were mathematically, it was impossible to make the Champions League. We knew he was gone. Where he was gonna go, or he wanted to go. So this is not, to be honest, this is nothing new. A couple of weeks ago, or even a couple of days ago, he was already linked to Chelsea. Want to go Chelsea?
Yeah, but it was only 3 weeks ago. He was saying no, he's got unfinished business. So,
but see, that's my issue with that's my issue with this situation is if he wanted to leave or if he had it in his mind, okay, there's no Champions League. He knew that straight away the last game last season. That's when he should have come out and said, okay, I'm going to keep my options available then. Not wait to a wake out for everyone travel out to pre-season and then drop it now. Just when we're getting a few positives, like, okay, a few players might be coming in, they've dropped this now a week out. And then, this is a lot of, along with the De Jong news that looks like it's, could be in limbo as well, everything's gone negative again. That's what I don't like about it. He had the decision to make this earlier or for them to drop this earlier in.
Are we getting positives?
So everyone kind of knew it was coming.
Are we getting positives though? Like, is the club just drip feeding? Okay, we're in for Lissandro Martinez, we're in for De Jong. Has Ronaldo actually seen anything happen? I think Ronaldo might have said, "Look, I'll give the club the benefit of the doubt," and said, "Let's see what we're going to do." We're not doing anything at the moment. Like, facts are facts at the moment. We've let 2 World Cup winners go. We've let a Premier League winner go, and we haven't signed anyone. Now, yes, I know it's a long transfer window. We can sign players in, and we might be a better squad in a couple of weeks' time. But at the moment, facts are facts. We are far weaker this season. Again, I know I'm jumping the gun a little bit because we haven't signed anyone. But at the moment, we've weakened our squad. We haven't improved. And we're in a position where we couldn't afford to weaken at all. We're in a position to improve. That hasn't happened. So I think Ronaldo at the end of the season, look, who knows? But my interpretation is give the club the benefit of the doubt. He's seen our main rivals go and get their main target in Darwin Núñez, go get their main target in Erling Haaland. He's seen those clubs act who don't need to strengthen, but they've gone and strengthened. He's seen the club in most need of strengthening only be weakened. And I think he said, well, this has been a disaster this couple of weeks, so I'm keeping my options open now. I don't think he said I'm leaving United. I think he said if someone wants to come get me, I'm happy to go.
Yeah, I understand that. And he's got every right to do that, right? He's got every right. Like Kev was saying in the
he
one of the
doesn't have
comments,
that right, though.
He played his
part. I don't believe he's got that right.
Look, but at the end of the day, why did we bring Ronaldo in? Is it for the marketing? Or is it for something else? What do we bring him in for? The club said he's not for sale, but is he keeping his? Is Mendes going out there to find a club for the next season? We don't know. We don't know the whole story. Now, obviously, he wants to play Champions League football. We can't offer him that. Yeah, he did say he's got unfinished business, and he can say that there hasn't been any signings coming in. But even with all the signings that we're linked to, are we winning the league? No, we're not.
Exactly.
If Ronaldo can't, even if you get Martinez, Anthony, and Timber and all these, we're still not winning the league. So what? It doesn't matter if there's World Cup players and all these guys are gone. We're still not winning the league.
Still doesn't mean he's got the right to ship up and ship out. Still doesn't mean he's got the right to ship up and ship out. He doesn't. If you're in a team, right, your local park team, and you're with your mates, and you're playing, and you like. I know I went down, I played a fair few shitty divisions. It doesn't mean I'm just going to pack up my shit and go. Yeah, you still want to help a team or a club.
There could have been something in the contract that said if there's no Champions League football, I can break the contract and leave.
That's fine if that's the case. But don't come out and talk like you love the club. Because as far as I'm concerned, if you're walking into an office, which we don't know if this is true or not, but not in hindsight, if you did, You're not putting he's putting himself first before the club, especially when he always comes out.
Was Roy Keane when he tried to force move through to Juventus and for Bayern Munich when Manchester United weren't invested in the squad? Was he putting Roy Keane ahead of the club? Like, I'm just thinking.
We're talking about Tom. We're talking about a guy that's 38 years old. We're not talking about a guy that's 30 years old and he's trying to extend his career. This guy's coming to the end of his career, right? He's coming to the end of his career.
I still think you can love a club and still think of yourself. I know it sounds selfish, but like I said, he's got such a high caliber. He said the same thing when he was at Real Madrid. He said the same thing when it was at Juve, and the same thing happened at Juve. He had a contract for another year there. Mate, he come off the back of a season at Juve when they won 2 trophies and they came 4th and they still qualified for the Champions League. That wasn't good enough for him. That's what I mean. He finished business was last season coming to think, okay, United are on the up again. I'm going to try and bring us back to maybe get a trophy. That's going to be his unfinished business. For him, he probably even got his unfinished business for coming back as a 36-year-old and scoring 24 goals in the Premier League. That's probably an accomplishment for him as an individual. But like I said, I'm just looking at it for him. The only part I'm cranky about is how close it is and how much pressure it puts on the club, on Eric Ten Hag, as he's just come in and he said, okay, one of the first questions he got in his interview was,
Ronaldo staying.
He's got Ronaldo, and what does he bring to the team? Goals. Everyone wants Ronaldo in their team. He's probably thinking now, okay, I've already got Ronaldo. There's been no wind of this until now. He hasn't even came back. Everyone's due back this week, and he's probably thinking, geez, I want to get to see this guy. So I've got no Mason Greenwood. I've got Martial, who they're probably going to say he's come back off a shit loan from Sevilla. We've got no strikers, and if we lose the guy that just scored 24 last year, mate, we're really going to be clutching at the straws and going to be hoping someone like Martial and Rashford have a cracker season.
Yeah, but this is where now as United fans, what are we going into this season? What do we expect? We got in. Why do we sack Oli? Why did we sack Mourinho? Why do we sack all these managers? Because we wanted a manager to come in, bringing tactics, bringing the philosophy, bringing a bit of a DNA of bringing in some of the youth players in. So if Ronaldo doesn't fit the bill, we already knew. Once Ten Hag was announced, what was the first thing everyone was saying? United fans, pundits, the media, Ronaldo does not fit a Ten Hag system. Now we're complaining that the guy wants to leave. If someone wants to leave from the club, let them go. Let some of the youth players the window's still not closed, right? Everyone's acting like it's deadline day. That's the problem. Everyone's because all these other teams have made signings. It means it's the end of the world for United. Every other team has had their managers in. Klopp's been there for 7 years. Pep for 7 years. Arteta's been there for 3 years now. Tuchel's been there for 2.5 or a bit years, something like that. So they already know what the targets. Yeah, but they already know. But he's already can identify his style the last couple of seasons, and he can bring in the players. Ten Hag has only started training a couple of days ago. He's. I know you can say he signed the deal. He's come in like a month or so ago, but still. We've always complained about we just splash the cash here, splash the cash there, and we burn money like Richard Arnold was saying. We do all these things. Now that maybe the club are trying to move away from that and go, let's make sensible signings. Let's not rush in the transfer window and get rinsed. Everyone's still complaining. So I
think the discussion needs to be, we need to differentiate. Look, I completely agree, but I think we need to differentiate the discussion, and it's very hard to take emotion out of it when we're talking about Ronaldo, because he's such a sort of pivotal figure, and emotions do get high when we discuss him. You just have to look at a couple of this time last season when we wanted to kill him when he was going to Manchester City. 24 hours later, we absolutely love him when he joined. So I understand it's an emotive topic. However, we need to differentiate the topic in regards to the player. Okay, Ronaldo is such an important player, but also he's just one player. Okay, he's just one player in a system. We talk about Ten Hag's system. But ultimately, this is one player who might be going or might be staying. Ultimately, it's an issue in regards to if he's our best player. In my opinion, he is. That's up for interpretation. Someone might say someone else. But our best player having the same feelings as us fans have towards the club. That is the issue for me. The issue isn't Ronaldo suiting Ten Hag or a team without Ronaldo or a team with Ronaldo. It's a player on the ground. Here we are on the other side of the world having these concerns about the club, and our best player, someone who knows how to win a Premier League, someone who knows how to be the best in the world, someone who sets the right standards, not happy with the club. That is the issue. It's not Ronaldo leaving or Ronaldo staying or Ten Hag system or Ronaldo not fitting. That's not the issue. It's an issue we're going to discuss as football fans and Man United fans. But the issue is our best player, a club legend, not happy with the way the club is going. If he was happy, if Man United were going in the right direction and he was said, yep, I'm confident, these are the players we're bringing in, and yes, I can see us challenging next season, yes, he might have an option somewhere to go to a Champions League club, but I don't think this would be a story. But he has the fears. As I said, all these players are leaving. At the moment, we're not signing the...
Is he not happy with what's happening at the club for his sake? Because that's not for the club's sake. It's for his own sake.
Yeah, but
because
there's no way.
Hold on. But it's harsh to say that the club's not heading in the right direction when, okay, we got rid of Ollie, we've had Ralph for 6 months, and we knew he was never going to be the full-time boss. We've appointed Eric Ten Hag, who's on the up, right? An up-and-coming manager who's got some credit behind him. He's worked with Pep. Is that not the club heading in the right direction? When we signed, and I take issue with, I think Kev said it in the chat, that Ronaldo did his part. Well, did he do his part? Yes, he's the club's top goal scorer this season. But how long did he go in the new year without scoring a goal? Had it not been for a couple of hat-tricks, and I'm not like disrespecting his goals because we needed them. But had it not been for a couple of hat-tricks, he wouldn't have been third on the goal scorers charts. He'd be a lot further down. What about all the games? What about all the games where he didn't score and we didn't win?
That happens. Robin Van Persie went twice as long without scoring.
I agree, but it's a team game. Yeah, he can't just say, I did my part. It's up to everyone else to do theirs." No, man. Everyone's got to play their part. It's just not.
Just on that point you make, is it about Ronaldo and United? And I agree, but it's one of those things that team sport. A team is made up of individuals.
Yeah, okay, but see, but this is the thing. Like Kev said, he goes, United didn't do their part. When we signed Ronaldo, who else did we sign in that preseason? Isn't that not showing that we're going in the right direction? We signed Champions League winners were made.
Mistakes were made 3 or 4 years before that Ronaldo signing. So, okay, Ronaldo is here. Well, now the Pogba signing 3 or 4 years earlier, that becomes an issue when Ronaldo arrives. All these things sort of, you sign something that becomes a problem 2 or 3 years later, then you add something onto that with sprinkles sort of cover papers the cracks sort of thing. So look, I completely agree with your thinking there, but it's a mess, and I don't think we can put the mess down. And I don't know, no one here is really saying that, but we can't put this mess down to Ronaldo. It's not on him, in my opinion.
I know. I'm not saying the mess at the club is on Ronaldo. No way. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying...
I would like him to stay there to try and help the club.
Rob.
Just for that 1 year to try and get it going.
I think we all do.
Yeah, the step in the right direction.
I think we all do, but
you go, Bolter, you go.
Watch it, you slip my tongue. You continue. Come to me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear.
Can you hear me or not?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was just saying, if at the end of the day, it comes down to if he doesn't want to stay because he personally wants to play Champions League, then you gotta think, all right, no worries, we'll take the best offers. We don't have to sell him. We'll take the best offers. Yeah. If we get the right price, you minus his wages, 25 or whatever, 20 million wages, and the fee, just say you get 50 mil from that, you can go then buy a player that's going to work in the system that Ten Hag wants, and then you can build on that. We're not going to win the league next season. Forget that. Yeah,
would you get 50?
Maybe get a trophy.
37. You're not going to get 50.
Yeah. No, but if you include the wages that were taken away,
if you think
from the budget,
the massive wages, okay.
You save that in wages. You save another 20 or 25 in wages. Plus, even if we get the same 20 mil, 25 mil for him, there's a package there of 50 million where you can spend it on another player. Now, whether this is all bullshit and it's just paper talk, just so United can hurry up and speed up with the deals. Because we know that a couple of weeks ago, that's the whole rumors. Ronaldo's not happy. There hasn't been any signings. Because to me, I think I'm still patient with this transfer window. If the transfer window closes and we haven't done no business, that's when I'm going to have an issue. That's when I'm not going to be happy. But whether we get De Jong and all these guys today, or we get him in 2 weeks, what's the difference? There's zero difference in that. What? Because they're not going to be on preseason.
Yeah, he cares.
Is that not,
it's not their first time playing football.
Sorry, Ahmad, but just on that point, Borcho, and we've discussed this before, look, I completely agree. We sign a player on July the 15th or August the 1st. Okay, there's no difference. But perception is reality. And he's seen these players go to Manchester City, go to Liverpool, go to these, look at what Tottenham are doing, who is a rival for us. They're seeing these players get a full pre-season. I can see, in my opinion, the way I see the club run, Malacia. Okay, we've all signed Malacia. I wouldn't put it past him not being on the tour. I'll tell you why, and maybe this is an extreme view. I think United are probably going to try and get Patrice Evra in for a unveiling video because he's a similar left back to Patrice Evra. Say, hang on, no, we can't get Patrice Evra until sort of mid-July. Hang back, we won't put you on tour because we want to make sure this unveiling signing, this video is good. So he won't get a full pre-season.
Game.
but that's what I think. So that is
true,
what I think
agree.
the idea is. I'm not saying that's going to happen. But that is what I can see happening. Where Erling Haaland's in, he's had his stuff done. Darwin Núñez is coming. His unveiling video was a hold the shirt up, go enjoy your holiday. We're signing these players. We're not even signing the players yet, and we're a couple of days away from the players flying out to Bangkok. So I'm just thinking perception is reality. I completely agree with you.
I agree with you there. But you look at Spurs, you look at their signing. It's a retirement village and Basuma, right? So what? I'm not really worried at any of their 4 or 5 signings that they've made. Only one of them was probably starting anyways, so that's not a big deal. So if we get in like we did before, Tom Heaton and all these goalkeepers and Dalot and Fred for no reason, all these players that just because there's numbers doesn't mean they're good players. We need first team players. Arsenal got who? We had to Google them, and they got third choice striker at Man City, Jesus, and they're making moves. No one wanted Jesus, third choice striker. All their players they're going for want to leave their current clubs, like Rafinha, like Tielemans, all want to leave. So they're jumping on these. They can't attract other players, right? Liverpool, do they really need to strengthen? Maybe so. Darwin Núñez, a great signing for them. And Erling Haaland was already sorted out after they couldn't get Harry Kane last season. So you look at the other teams. Chelsea, who have Chelsea signed? They've lost eight players as well. They're not kicking up a stink. They've just gone through all these new owners and all this sort of stuff. So I get what you're saying. We need players in and all that. And I know how United, you're right. They're probably going to wait for Patrice Evra to come and unveil him or some rubbish like that. But I just don't think it's time to panic. Especially for us United fans. And if Ronaldo wants to leave, use that money, spend on players that Ten Hag wants, and let's kick off the season. It's as simple as that.
See, the thing as well with United is, if they stick to their guns, number one, I'll see them dragging this right out. It won't be a quick thing because if he needs to go, he needs to kind of go now. So they've got the time when the transfer window to go out and replace him with the money. If not, and this is like a deadline day thing, that's just going to shoot everyone in the foot. And the last point is, if they don't let him go, because they're saying already we don't want him to go, obviously there's many reasons, not just the footballing thing. It's the whole merchandise, the whole brand of Ronaldo. Do you want to keep a player that doesn't want to be there? Just to stick to your guns as well. Ronaldo could kick up a stink if he really wanted to, and then he's not going to play with his full heart on his sleeve kind of thing. Oh, I want to be there. Who knows? After the World Cup, he might want to go in January after that. So I just think there's a lot of things that have to be done quickly. If he's going to go. If he's going to stay, that's it. Make it that United got to come out. He's got to come out and say, yeah, this is all bullshit rumors. I'm going to stay. I'm going to try and rebuild this club.
What's his options? Who's going to come in for him?
I agree with that point.
He'll have options, mate.
To sign Mbappe on a long contract. So PSG come out already and said they're not interested. Yeah, PSG already said they're not interested.
Bayern's available. If they for Lewandowski, they might break the rule for not buying overage players, even if it's for a year or two. I told you, he might take a pay cut. He'll go over there. He'll score goals over there. They'll challenge for the Champions League over there. He'll break records over there. Chelsea are the one that scare me because I don't care if he moves, but I don't want him to go to a Premier League club. That's the thing that'll burn me the most. And Chelsea, with the new owners, mate, he wouldn't mind probably the whole, the whole brand of Ronaldo going to another club that can offer him Champions League. They just sold.
We got Newcastle there as well. Newcastle good for him.
He wouldn't go to. There's no way he'd go to Newcastle.
I'm just saying, you don't know if this is the mentality.
There's no Champions League. It's not money. It's not about money.
Champions League. Yeah,
it's Champions League.
No, it's exactly. If he's worried about us not making Champions League, there's no point going there. Yeah. He's not going to do nothing there. He's going to go. If he leaves, it's going to go for a Champions League club. That's it. I don't even think it's the money, to be honest. And look, if he wants to stay in the Premier League and Chelsea throw the money at him, the only thing that I can't see him go to Chelsea, United won't let it happen. They're stupid if they let that happen.
Not just that. Chelsea have too many problems already to be getting Cristiano Ronaldo. That's just my view. They're looking to players up front, players in the midfield. They've got no defenders. They still need to get defenders in first before you try to get Ronaldo in. And why would you want to get Ronaldo in? Oh, look, you could. Everyone wants Ronaldo, but Ronaldo at 37, 38 next season for you to become this new Chelsea thing with their new owners. I can see it happening as like a statement signing thing, but then just go get Neymar. He's pretty much the same caliber in terms of marketing. You can market the shit out of Neymar. But yeah, like if I don't know, like if he's just kicking up a stink just so United can hurry up and get signings in, all right, maybe it's the way to go. Maybe it's the way to go. But I say if he really wants to leave, thank you for the mad memories, opening day against Newcastle, and the goals against the other teams, and the hat tricks and all that, the comebacks and all that. Thanks, mad season. Thank you. Off you go. Let's now start fresh, because the whole problem was he doesn't fit in, he doesn't track, he doesn't do that, doesn't press. Well, all right, now let's clear him out. Thank you for everything. You wanted to leave, we didn't kick you out. We're not push throwing you out.
And then now let's see what the real problems are.
Yeah, now let's see what the rest of the problems are, and let's get players in positions. You got the money, get someone for up front. Yeah, yeah. Tom did leave. He's gone to train him back up in his dungeon. He's gone to train him back up.
He's going for another drink.
The Shackles are doing a few step overs, and he's like, "No, I got to sort this out." Fuck the other one up. But I don't think we should be worried, man. Like some of the other signings, and I see Scott here in the comments. Jesus starts in United. Yeah, I don't know where he starts. Maybe in the under 18s, but that's about it. Perisic is a 33-year-old. Maybe Basuma and Kulusevski. They signed last season, Scotty. So you worry about your team, bro. Everyone's hijacking your players. They don't come chat about.
Don't come here chatting shit,
Scotty. Yeah, come try and get Ronaldo. How hijack that deal?
I read a tweet. And I don't know. You tell me what you guys think of this one. It was when we signed Ronaldo. Ronaldo agreed to come to United, because he wanted a challenge. And the minute things got challenging, now he wants to leave. So
this is my issue with it, but
it's
so hard.
It's hard. They leg it.
This is a hard question, because I agree with Borcher as well, where he says we may need to move him on and we need to start fresh. But on the other hand, in my head, it's like this bloke, and I've always spoken about that, even with the first period he was with United. It's all about Ronaldo. It's all about Ronaldo. He's doing this, he's doing that. And it drives me nuts, all this individual talk. And I agree again with Tom. Like, you can talk about Roy Keane, you can talk about other players looking for transfers. He was talking about before, off channel, is if McTominay or someone came in and said the same stuff, you wouldn't really care, would you? Maybe Emad might, but yeah, it's a really tough question, isn't it? Like,
I've still got his birth certificate somewhere. I was so proud when he was.
It's a tough
Look,
one.
I've always said, man, before you start rebuilding, you got to knock the house down first. And look, we've seen a clear out
in knocking that house down. A question, and whoever answer this. Okay, let's say that the right decision is to send Ronaldo out, to sell him wherever he goes. Ronaldo goes to Bayern Munich, goes to Chelsea, goes to PSG, wherever. Do you believe in the club to bring in a striker in who can score the goals needed this season?
No.
So keep him.
No.
And that's not to say we should keep him or it's the right decision. But it's just that is where I can't see the club with this. Yes, I love Terry Ten Hag. I don't see direction.
But you don't need one player scoring 24 goals, but in my opinion.
Yeah, but do we all here agree? Are we all prepared to back the manager, this man, Eric Ten Hag?
Are we all
100%, 1,000%?
Okay. So if he comes in and says, "Do you know what, Ronaldo's gone," but from what I've read, he's happy what he's seen in training from Martial. So if Martial becomes our number 9 again and believes in him, what are we all saying then? Are we all saying, all right, cool. If he comes,
I am. I'm fine with that.
New manager, everyone gets a
we've
fresh
all complained
start,
about.
Not everyone, but go on.
Yeah, but some of them already had so many chances that forget your fresh start.
Yeah,
so like if he comes in now and says, you know what?
Oh, back to the manager.
If he says Max Fred, if he likes Max Fred again.
Yeah, well, McFred will worry about midfielders, strikers. I back the manager's decision. If he thinks Marcus Rashford's our new number 9, go for it, 100%. If he wants to change things, in my opinion, I think we need a striker who's going to guarantee goals. I think that's what is needed at the top level. Now, yes, Manchester City can sort of throw shade at that and say, no, you don't need a striker.
That's my point. That's my point. What you just said there about City. Like, they don't need... And I know we're not City, and I know we're so far away of playing like City. We're not even close to playing like United. But my point is, if City, who've just won the league, albeit by a point, right, have just won the league, and the goals are being spread around the whole side, there's no reason why any other side can't do that.
But Ten Hag's team has always had that focal point, that striker. And I'm
I
just
understand
thinking,
that.
whether that be Ronaldo, I think Manchester United, and what we want as Manchester United fans, we want wingers who sort of get down to the line and cross balls in. We want box midfielders. We want fullbacks who overlap and gets balls into the box. Some things Manchester United fans want is a striker. We always want a number 9. It's part of this United DNA that this is something
Just
we will
signed
demand.
Sebastian Haller. He just turned him into a fucking gun striker in the Dutch league. Bring him over to us as well.
I don't care who's playing that number 9 role. I just think we need one. And if Ronaldo doesn't go, do I back Martial? And if Ten Hag thinks Martial and Rashford are those men, go for it. 100%. I'll back it 100%. Do I believe Marcus Rashford and Martial can provide us with what's needed? Unfortunately, at the moment, I would have hesitations.
Do you think, and this is probably my old head talking here, we brought in a young Wayne Rooney, like he was 19 when he came in. Do you think we could play with a 19-year-old up front and give him a chance, or you don't?
Different situation. A 19-year-old back then had leaders in the room. They were coming into a winning squad. You could bring on a 19-year-old when you're 3-0 up at half time, and you had people around you like Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, and say, "Yeah, come in, have a bit of a friend." We're bringing. You've seen it already now in the last couple of years with Greenwood, throwing these guys under the bus. And Greenwood carried us at the start of last season. Obviously, we know what happened, and he's out the door now. But that's a perfect example of where the club is at the moment, bringing in a youth, a special player.
My issue with the Greenwood situation is they played him out on the wing. He played all his youth in at 9, and they played him out on the wing. So I'm talking about specifically for, like, if Greenwood came in and played 9 all the time.
Just on that, when under COVID restrictions and there was no crowd, was everyone not saying that the front three of Rashford, Martial, and Greenwood the best in the league?
No.
It was at the time, but
yeah, we were.
It was at the time.
They were putting up numbers. They were putting up numbers just as good as the front three of Liverpool.
But Liverpool were in 7th or 8th that season.
More.
Yeah. That's what I mean.
Under COVID restrictions.
League.
3 years ago, 4 years
No,
ago.
they won the league.
And our front three.
It was the year they won the league.
They won the league.
Year after.
They won the league.
No, the front
Rashford,
three
Martial,
were
and Greenwood had more goals. Had more goals in the.
Yeah. They were
you're right.
punching numbers just
It could
as
work.
good, it could work.
But with Greenwood,
the year
with Greenwood as well, you got
Martial and Rashford, they got 23 goals. I think Martial got 23 goals and Rashford got 24 or something like that, wasn't it? And that was what was that? 2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah, the COVID year.
2, 3,
When Liverpool won the league, there was only 5 or 6 games behind closed doors. That was all in front of. It was just that last bit where they won the title, which was behind closed doors. I'm just thinking, look, Rashford, Martial. If Ten Hag, I said 5 minutes ago, if Ten Hag thinks they're the men, 100% go for it. We always made the case last year. Maybe we're a better team with Cavani over Ronaldo. Now, what do you weigh up better? Do you weigh up better football or do you weigh up the goals? And they're valid arguments, whatever side you sit on. But at the moment, how long's Marcus Rashford been here? And this is not to say he doesn't have a bright future, but he's been here, 2016, Martial 2015, or the same season they came in. It's 2022. Now, yes, they can provide goals, but goals to win us the league. And now Borcho's completely right in saying we're not in a position to win the league. But ultimately, that needs to be the ambition. And can we criticise Ronaldo for wanting to have a team capable of winning the Champions League and Premier League? Maybe it's a bit stupid of Ronaldo to think that. Coming to Manchester United, he knew what he's getting into. But ultimately, they're the standards that need to be set. And I'd rather Ronaldo setting those standards of someone who's accomplished stuff at the game and accomplished stuff at Manchester United, rather than relying on, and not to criticise them, but letting Anthony Martial set the standards up front.
Thank you, Tom.
That's a fair point.
That's a
I agree.
point.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'll be happy. Look, I'll be happy if the club sells Martial today. I'll have no issues with that because, like what Adam was saying with these clean slates and second chances, all these guys already had second chances. They've all had it. So how many more chances do you want? How many more chances does Fred, McTominay, and even for Bruno's and your Maguire's and all these? They all.
It comes down to mentality of the game, isn't it? Or mentality of the player. Like if you're talking about second chances and they couldn't take it the first time. Yeah.
But I said this the other night with the whole second chances thing. That's why he's trying to bring in as many of his players as possible because he doesn't trust anyone. We've seen this after Ole got sacked last year. We bring in Ralph, right? again, the God, the Gegenpress God, this and that, we're going to change. I told you. We played Real football for half an hour, the first half an hour in the Crystal Palace game, and then everyone didn't like it, and they left. And where we go?
They were blowing gas out their ass after half an hour.
We finished the season with 6 away losses, man. Like, that's what I mean. They threw the manager under the bus straight away. So, again, I'm all for it if he thinks that, all players are going to rock up to their first week of preseason and try
100% on that.
Entertain the new manager.
Yeah, a question for
because these what's that?
Just want to direct a question to you, Matt, in regards to here we are, so saying let's back the manager. We all agree with Eric Ten Hag. And look, of course I do. I'm just thinking we're all giving our fans' opinion or what the Glazers are thinking or what Ronaldo's thinking. Eric Ten Hag, at the moment, the signings who are rumoured, Malaysia, that's obviously you think Eric Ten Hag. De Jong, they're signing. You can all see all these signings, whether they come to fruition or not. You can understand these being Eric Ten Hag signings.
Yeah.
What's Eric Ten Hag thinking? Is he thinking, hang on, I need Ronaldo? Or is he thinking, hang on, okay, if he doesn't want to be, he get out the door? What do you think he's actually thinking?
In regards to Ronaldo?
Does he want him? Does he suit the system or not? Just in terms of everything Ronaldo brings, does he want him this season? Because in my opinion, it's a yes. But in terms of, it's obviously a valid argument the other way.
But because you brought up obviously the Glazers and the board in that same question, I think he's going to be happy to keep Ronaldo if the board don't back him or don't help him bring in another player, another striker to replace him. Look, man, we can't look as great as Ronaldo is, and as great as everything he's achieved in the game is. We cannot build or progress and build our future with Ronaldo, bro. He's done. Like, he's done as in he can't do it, but he's turning 38, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with this.
He's done. He's one more year. Okay, no worries. But who was that striker? Well, Darwin Núñez. Before he signed for Liverpool, we were saying, okay, bring him in, have a bit part role for Ronaldo, both of them. You play all of Europa or whatever, and that'll be fine. Rotate them around. But we're not bringing anyone in at the moment to replace or to take that position from Ronaldo. So unless that happens, then yes, Ronaldo is going to be a part of his plans. And if it doesn't, then I don't know.
That's the hard thing, Ahmed. How do you sell that? If it does stay, it's hard to sell to a striker like that. Come in this season, Europa League, and be a bench player to Ronaldo. It's hard to sell. Even if he's going to say it's only a year.
All this business you hear from a
it depends what player it is.
Yeah, of course.
But
even when Darwin when he's saying, "Oh, I want Champions League football," like, calm down, bro. How old is he? You're 23, 22 years old.
And plus, for 80 million or whatever the price tag is, you've
got another 10 years. You've got another 10 years in the game.
You're not going to put it up.
Yeah, 100%.
You're not going to put it back up.
Yeah, but look, with the Darwin Núñez thing, if you're a player at Benfica now and Liverpool and United came in for you right now, who are you going to choose? Well, this United pulling power doesn't exist anymore.
I know.
Everyone keeps saying we haven't got pull anymore. We haven't won a trophy in 7 years, mate. We can't even get top 4 nearly now. That's our accomplishment. Get top 4 now.
This is where Tom.
We're the new Arsenal. That's who we are.
Look, without taking the piss, this is where Arsenal are 5 years ago. Honestly, this is where Arsenal on the rebuild. Like, they've been kind of on a rebuild for 4 or 5 years now. They could do something.
Even before they sacked Arsene Wenger, when they used to ask him what his not achievements, what his targets were for that season. Oh, we want to make top 4. So
yeah, but look, Emad, on terms of with Tom's question, I think Ten Hag doesn't want him. I honestly do, because when he was asked about Ralph Rangnick in the press conference about, are you guys gonna? Have you guys spoken? Have you got? What he said, is he gonna be here next year? He's like, that's a decision up to the club. So when he asked about Ronaldo, the only thing he said, he gives me goals. That's it. So Ralph's left. Okay, I think we've gone 10 steps backwards with that decision. But if it's Ralph's decision that, look, I don't need him to make my decisions of what players to come at the club. I've got my own people, or I've got an eye for that myself. Fair enough. I think it's the same with Ronaldo. I don't think he really wants Ronaldo at the club, and I think Ronaldo is using now I want to leave as a bit of a cover up of he doesn't want me. Who's this guy not to So not
Yeah.
me, Ronaldo.
I can see
So
that
he's
as
using
well.
I
Like
now
I don't,
going in and out.
I
Yeah.
don't disagree with that as well because, like I said, we cannot. Like we've signed Ten Hag on a 3-year. Is it a 3-year deal?
Still not sure
Yeah,
what the
3 and
contract is for Ten
Yeah.
Hag.
Three,
We should
I don't think they
know.
actually said,
whatever
did
it is,
they?
right? Multiple year
three,
deals.
three
Okay?
and then one.
Three plus one.
3
Yeah.
years and then
Yeah.
hospital one.
Okay,
Yeah.
3+1.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's not here for short term, right? So he can, but he's going to see that I cannot build a squad or a competitive squad for the future with a 38-year-old striker. So,
Yeah.
and
And
I
also
don't
with that
disagree.
as well, also with that, like we were saying, we'd have no pulling power. No one wants to come. Well, you look at we've always said, oh, with these marketing signings, your Di Marias, you're like this, that they never work out. But well, now what do we expect? This Malacia, no one really knew who he was. Is this the type of players that we need? Everyone's like, oh, look at Liverpool, look how no one really knows these players, and they get them, and they're the manager or Klopp and his coaching staff make him great. Well, is that the direction we want to go, or do we want to splash the cash
100%.
again? Bring Dybala in
100%.
then. Might as well bring all these guys in.
But this is the-
But this is the problem with our fan
Right?
base. This is the problem with our fan base
Yeah.
as well, though.
We do 100%. We need to sell the project now to players. But when you got players from Feyenoord and you got players whether from RB Leipzig or whether from Ajax, it should be an easy sell then for some other players. And these are the players that he wants, the right players for the system, and they can do the job. These guys are not going to be on big pay like packets and all that sort of stuff. So these are the players. Well, for me, I'm looking at it. If we're going to start fresh and try to bring back the old Man United where we used to win, we got to go back to how it was, especially with buying players. No one really knew who Evra and Vidic was when they came in. How many players did we buy that hardly anyone knew who they were, and we became champions, or they played a big part
Look,
in us being
100%
champions?
right, Borche. But and look, I don't disagree at all. Agree 100%. However, and I know you're not making the point, but that is what 2004, 2005, 2006, 2022. Now we can't afford. Adam just said, "I'd like to see players developed." Again, nothing more. I'd like, as a Manchester United fan,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I want. 2022, it can't be done. We need results tomorrow. If we draw 1-1 with Brighton on the opening day of the season, we'll be Ten Hag out. No, I'm not saying anyone here's saying that, but that'll be the perception in the media. We can't afford that time. So yes, we can't build a team around Ronaldo. I completely agree. We can't worry about building a team for the future. We need a team for this next 6 weeks.
Oh, and I agree with that. I agree with that point as well.
It's so hard, isn't it? Like,
it's hard. That's right. Because if
it's-
you look at, let's look at when
hard.
Klopp came in. Yeah, Klopp came in. His first few seasons at Liverpool weren't fantastic. Yeah, so they finished probably
Klopp's
Seventh,
first season,
fifth.
they finished
Yeah,
seventh,
okay.
man. Klopp's first season.
But the problem, the difference is, right, so whoever won the leagues those years, where Klopp was finishing 6th and 7th and 5th or whatever, they weren't blowing every team out of the water like City and Liverpool are doing now. So if we're going to sit, and so he was given that time to build and he caught up quickly. If we're going to do the same, and this is where I agree with you, Tom, where we need results now. If we don't do that now, then how far behind are we going to be when City's already, like not City and Liverpool, but City and Liverpool, third was how many points behind?
A lot.
So how much further
Yeah, but
away are they going to be? Where by the time we've got to that stage, so it's a fine line, man.
Depends what
It's a fine line.
This season, yeah, we all want results, right? We all want to win games, but this season needs to be a complete write-off. We
Yeah.
need to see better
The year
performances.
before
I've
was
seen Man
second.
United win trophies. I've seen us
wanna
win
bring up-
trebles. I've seen
wanna bring up
us win.
Will the club write it off? Though?
Three.
You're right, Borche, but
I'm
will the
talking
club
about
write it
results.
off?
No, they won't, Tom.
I want
They
to
need
bring
to
up
know.
another
Stick with what they've
They
got.
need to. They need to have a good sit down and say, look, 10. We all know what Rannick said about the club. How many players we need in and out. He's correct.
What before
100%.
the
10
club.
players need to leave, right? And Ten Hag will definitely, I believe, has sat down with the board. That's why at the start it wasn't guaranteed that he was going to come because of the demands that he wanted. Hey, this is not an overnight thing. Don't think next season it might be one of them seasons where we don't lose a lot of games, but we draw, like that Mourinho season when we came 6th and won Europa. It could be a season like that. We could even come 5th, right? We could come 5th, but improve dramatically on the pitch. And then the next season after, All right, or even in January, where this whole World Cup business is done, and Timber finally wants to join because Van Gaal's not on his case. You bring a player like him in, you jag these players, and you strengthen the squad. It's about performances. These guys can't put a pass together, let alone win a
100%.
game. They can't win their individual battles.
100%
I think
bullshit.
that's
Mate,
where
all
we
you
need.
had to do was look at Ten Hag's
What the
training
fan-
sessions.
no,
I'm
Twitter,
fucking
the
like
Twitter
watching
fan
an
base.
NPL team
Yeah, the
train.
Twitter fan.
Mate,
What
but
was that?
that's
Say
what I
that
mean.
again.
I was just saying, like Ten Hag, he went back to basics just to get them to pass correctly. He's standing in the middle of
Yeah,
the pitch,
you
directing
know
them
what,
around what they have to do. It's like
That's
fuck,
that's
you're thinking
that's
they're
the
that far
warm-ups.
behind. Tom made a valid point. I saw
Adam-
one of his tweets saying coaching 12-year-old girls and stuff like that. Like that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, but the thing is that's the warm-ups. The warm-ups are always going to be like that. If you go look at the treble winning side, the drills that the treble winning side were doing, it was literally pass and move for a warm-up. So don't take too much into what Man United put up, because they're not going to put up the whole tactics and all the philosophies that it's implemented. So don't take too much out of that. As long as we're not seeing a winning team, we're not seeing holding the ball, winning team. You know, it's us three. As long as we're not seeing that bullshit anymore.
We'll be doing that with an AFL ball in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
winning team and apology posts. That's all we saw last year. And, mate,
Yeah.
sorry, we're not good enough. Hey, guys, I want to bring up a tweet from our good mate Jamie Carragher, and this is sort of what kicked it off on Twitter.
Vegan,
and I think,
vegan.
yeah. But now this is what he wrote.
Go on,
Let me
man.
read what he wrote. Calm down.
I've had enough.
Yeah, I can't even start. Ronaldo did exactly what I thought he would do: score goals, but make the team worse. The transfer request also kills the idea he turned down Man City because of his love for Man United. Thoughts?
This is the same idiot. A couple of weeks ago on the
Jamie
overlap.
Carragher, he can say whatever the fuck he wants.
Forget who wrote the tweet. Forget who wrote the tweet. It's about
No,
reading
I
the
just
tweet.
2 weeks ago,
he's a dickhead.
2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago on the overlap, he was sitting there and he was saying if Ten Hag wants to make a statement, he'll get rid of Ronaldo. Well, now that Ronaldo's going, all of a sudden,
now he's saying something against him.
Sit down. You wouldn't know what a Premier League trophy looked like if it hit you in the face.
Yeah,
Jamie.
look, the arguments between Gary Neville and Carragher in regards to Ronaldo, whether it be about Pogba or Ronaldo, both sides are right in their arguments. So Carragher's been banging this drum. If someone agrees with him, fine. Obviously, I don't, but if you want to, feel free to. If we draw nil, or if we don't score against Brighton and Ronaldo's not here, he'll be saying, "Why are the club getting rid of a player like Ronaldo? They had a goal scorer in Ronaldo. Why are they getting rid of him?" Carragher's got to sort of beat the drum that's sort of is against Manchester United. That'll happen.
We didn't score against Brighton, but
We never score against half the teams we play.
You know what? Even that tweet was a response to what Neville said about how Mo Salah is rinsing or whatever.
Yeah, I know.
Liverpool.
I know. It was all.
They did back and forth, but this guy was saying, "Oh, Ten Hag should make a statement to get rid of Ronaldo," and then if decides to throw in like Klopp did to Benteke. Sit down. You're putting Benteke and Ronaldo in the same sentence. Sit down, mate. This guy's a joke.
He did
so what's happening, boys? Do we want this guy gone or what? Are we keeping him or what's happening? Because we haven't come to a conclusion.
Yeah, I know.
What's the conclusion?
Yeah, let's wrap it up. Look,
let's wrap it up.
Are we seeing him in Melbourne? That's the question. Are we seeing him in Melbourne before he leaves?
I want to end this pod with Borche singing the Europa League anthem. It's an absolute. It's a banger. All right, I'm going to go.
Once you learn the tune and you get knocked out into conference, it's the same one. So we're good. We don't have to learn a second tune.
One song.
Yeah.
One song, no lyrics.
One done, mate. That's it. No lyrics. That's it.
We can't fuck that up, surely.
Get ready.
I'm going to go around
Ronaldo, apparently he's rumored to Napoli and all these teams. Like he's achieving something there. Oh, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
The Napoli one was the worst link you could throw out there. The randomest team. They're about to sell Koulibaly for money. They can't re-sign Mertens because they haven't got money. They just let their best player Insigne go to America. I don't know where that came from. And Roma was the other one. Why can't go to Roma? They're in the Europa League. They just came fifth last year and they won the Conference League. What pool have they got over? I don't understand where those come. Chelsea's the only one that's a bit of a scare. That's it.
Before I go around and ask everyone what we think, what we're going to do with Ronaldo, how long does he expect to keep playing? Because if we remember, he's also said that he wants to retire at Sporting.
I reckon he'll never go back to sport. He'll never go back to sporting for me.
How much longer is this?
He will.
He's a machine of a bloke. Like,
I think it's a weird one. I remember when Zlatan Ibrahimovic signed, everyone said, okay, Zlatan's coming on a free transfer for one more season. That was in 2016. He's still playing.
He won the league with freaking Milan last year.
I think it's one of those things. What we think Ronaldo, we just look at maths and says, okay, he's got 2 more years, maybe 3 to stretch.
He'll play to 40, man. He'll play to 40 for me.
I think 40.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I reckon he'll go to 40. I reckon he's in better shape than Ibrahimovic, and Ibrahimovic done won the Scudetto at 41 nearly. So I reckon he'll definitely do that.
With no ACL. With
no
ACL as well.
Exactly.
I tell you who's in great shape. Have you seen?
I reckon Ronaldo can go on to when Ronaldo wants to. Ronaldo can play to 40, 45, depending on his body, and I think he will. I think he will go to Sporting and probably end it there. Still play Champions League, so that his little goal tallies and numbers are still going to count.
At 45, I think he can go to Sporting in that league.
But he's even come out and said that he owes it to Sporting to. Not that I believe anything he says, but he's even come out and said that he owes it to Sporting because he said if he never got a start at Sporting, he would have been working at Macca's. But
it'd be nice to see.
I think it would be nice to see him do that, 100%, regardless what age he is.
Yeah.
I'm going to go around. I'm going to ask everyone what's going to happen. Is he staying? Is he going? Robbie, I'm going to start with you.
Heart says he stays. Head says he goes.
And what do you want?
I want him to stay. I think we need his goals. I think we need a leader in the team, and I think that he can adapt to. Well, not even adapt. I think he needs to just goals again, as Ten Hag said. And I think that the team will, with your Donnies, with your Frankies, if it comes, I think there'll be enough creative players with hopefully some new fullbacks and wingers for all he has to do is score the goals. Because I think I feel more confident with him scoring goals for Martial or Rashford this year.
Fair enough. Tom?
Don't say that.
The emotion at the moment, we are very emotional when we're talking about Man United Ronaldo. The emotion at the moment, I think he's going. But as I said, maybe that's just emotion. My head at the moment says he stays simply, what his decision or not, simply his options. I really feel there are no options for him, which is crazy to think about that with Ronaldo. But I think he's out of options. So the emotion says he's going. But in a couple of days, hope that fades away when he's back in training, if he returns to training. And the money would say he's going to stay.
The money would say, okay. Borche?
I reckon he stay. I reckon he stays. I reckon he does stay. I want him to stay as well. Look, to be honest, I want him to stay at the club. And then because not only does he offer things on the pitch in terms of goals, but also the experience, even to the younger players. You saw Garnacho in a few games. Always by his side, always having a chat to him. And I think he even mentioned that within training and all that, he always gets his advice, even Jadon Sancho and players like that. So it definitely helps with some of the other players. So hopefully he does stay. Hopefully it's just some rumors just to speed up maybe some of the deals that United are not doing. But if he does end up leaving, look, as long as it's not to another Premier League club, I couldn't care less, to be honest. And to Scott's one about him going to Arsenal, you couldn't afford the paperwork that his name's written on, let alone transfer fee and wages. So let's not worry about that. Maybe you'll get some funds from this Amazon documentary that we're ready to watch. Yeah, 0 goals, 0.00. For the zeros, but not for Ronaldo. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Tom, Adam.
Yeah, I think he'll stay. Just purely for me, I would like to see him stay because we've got a young Garnacho there and we've got some young strikers coming through, and I really want him to, because I thought the second half of the season his attitude really changed for United. I really think he's going to be there for our players. For some reason, I believe he's going to be there for our players. Just for one more season and then just go. I won't be sad if he did go, to be honest with you. It won't bother me, but I would dead set love to see him just stay there, just to develop some of our young strikers, and then Eric can then just develop those players and slide them into our new side to take us to the future.
Yep, fair enough.
What do you think?
Yourself?
Look, I'm all for him staying. I want him to stay. It's Cristiano Ronaldo, for fuck's sake. I mean, it's Ronaldo. I want him to stay, but I'm of the same opinion. Look, if you're the, and I know you mentioned McTominay or Rashford earlier, Tom, if they had that same sort of attitude, I'm of the same attitude. If you want to leave, there's the door. Fling it wide open. Thank you very much. See you later. But if it's all, I hope at the end of the day, all these rumors, it's just rumors. It's all bullshit. I hope he never said that. I hope he never told the club he wants to leave. I hope it's all just bullshit. But if it's happening just to speed up the transfer process, okay, fair enough. I'm happy we get a few players in. Overall, I want him to stay. It wouldn't hurt having the greatest of all time in our side. I can't see how that's going to be a detriment to our season. But who knows? We'll see what happens. I just want to thank everyone that's in the live chat. And I'm sorry if I didn't get through all your comments, but I know you guys were pumping them in there. And before we wrap it up, Adam's got a special shout out.
Yeah, I've just got a shout out to one of our close friends, Jodie and Kenny. Their daughter is just she's representing Australia in the World Cup. She's going to 4 World Cup events in downhill mountain biking. She's going to Switzerland, Andorra, the US, Canada, and France. So I want to wish her the best of luck from Man Cave United and everyone in Australia. You're going to do Australia proud, and mate, attack those hills and bring home some silverware. So good luck, Connor, and enjoy your time overseas.
Yeah, nice work, Adam. Also, as well, just thank all the boys on the panel. We got Robbie from It's a Football Thing, board chair from the Football Capital, and obviously Tom from United Pubcast, who also, congratulations, Tom, to you and Larry for hitting that 1,000 the other night, man. Great stuff.
And to you guys,
Thank you.
that
It's been a
100.
pleasure coming on, chatting United, or chatting Ronaldo. It wasn't much United discussion.
Mate, it was a topic that couldn't be left alone, so obviously everyone's going to probably have their own versions of this, so why not get all the boys on for a quick one before Sunday wraps up and the weekend wraps up for everyone else. Hopefully we're all staying nice and dry in this treacherous weather and everyone's safe from all the flooding that's already happening around Sydney. To everyone in the chat, like I said, thanks again. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Leave your comments, hit that subscribe button, leave a couple of likes, and we'll see you on the next one.
Cheers, lads.
Take it easy.
Ciao.
Good job, boys.
Yeah,
Lads, enjoyed that.
I was
fuck, I
still
can't believe after all that, we all thought that he was going to stay after all that. Oh, fuck. I'll be interested to see what
I
happens.
reckon we'll have an answer in a week's time. They fly out on Friday.
Are we still live? Are we still live? I think we're still
I don't
live.
think so. No, I don't think so. I don't
Nah.
think we're live.
Oh,
It is, bro.
it says